Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is our last video on Google Cloud monitoring series. So let's recap what we have learned so far. So we have started with what is metrics, and we have analyzed metric in very deeply manner. Then we have created dashboards, and in our last video I have shown you what is alerts and how you can configure alerts. So in today's session, we are going to learn about what is SLO and SLA, and then how reliability actually be measured, and due to downtime, how SLO is affected, what is 5xx and 4xx errors are, and what is uptime checks. By the end of this video, you will going to learn how actually the monitoring works in real production system. So before we actually dive into Google Cloud Console and start doing the hands-on lab, first let's understand what problems actually monitoring resolves. So one of the major things it does that is your system is reachable. Is my system running fast or slow, or is it retaining some errors? Whatever the promises that are made regarding availability of your system, does that meeting the requirements or not? So everything can be answered by monitoring. So I have logged into Google Cloud Console. First thing that we are going to do is uptime checks. So uptime check is nothing but is your application is reachable on internet or not. Like, so whatever application that you have deployed on Google Cloud Console, is it accessible to users or not? So for that we use uptime checks. So to find out uptime checks, go to monitoring and look in detect section, the uptime checks. So currently we don't have any uptime checks created. So let's click on create uptime check. So here you can see there are a lot of options available in the target section. The target section is nothing but the application, VM, or any resource type that you want to monitor if the application is working or not. So for that you are using uptime check. So in protocol you will have three options: HTTP, HTTPS, and TCP. So resource type is something that you are going to monitor for uptime check. So it has multiple options such as URL, internal IP, Kubernetes load balancer service, then Cloud Run service, App Engine, instance, Elastic load balancer. So these are all resource type that you are going to monitor. Here you can add the host name if it is the URL, and if you are using, let's say, Cloud Run service, then you have to enter the cloud service name. As of now, I don't have any resources created. That's the reason it doesn't show anything here. So let's just create one Cloud Run service, and we are going to monitor using uptime check. So I'll quickly create one Cloud Run. So click on services. Click on deploy container. So I'll be creating very basic Cloud Run application. This is just for a demo. Select the container image URL. Demo container, click hello, select. Select the region. So I'll select US Central 1 and allow public access. Let's keep minimum instance as 1, maximum also 1. Keep this as all, and now click on create. Cloud Run application is created, service is completed, revision is completed, traffic is completed, and you can also see one URL. So that is pointing to a demo site. So yeah, it's running. Congratulations, you successfully deployed. Now let's create a uptime check for this Cloud Run application. So go to monitoring again, uptime check. So click on create uptime check again. Protocol will change that to HTTPS. Why? Because our application is running on HTTPS protocol. That's why we have changed that to HTTPS. In the resource type, this time we'll select Cloud Run Service. Okay, still I don't see the Cloud Run services here. So let's give it a minute because it automatically takes these services that is present. Okay, now I can see the Cloud Run services that I have created. So click on that. Path, let's use slash and check frequency. So it will check every 1 minute if your application is up or not. So if your application is reachable from internet from any global location, not, or I mean, is reachable or not. So I'll just use the frequency only 1 minute, and then I'll keep the things as it is. Now we'll move to response validation. So response timeout is 10 seconds. We'll use the response code classes, and 2xx is fine. In the alert notification, we'll use the name as uptime failure as it is, duration 1 minute. Notification channel, we don't have any. The notification channel is used when your application, let's say, is not reachable. So where the alert should be triggered. So for that, you will need a notification channel. So let's create one notification channel. So I'll use the email. Click on add new. I'll enter my email ID. Cloud Run uptime down. So okay, this has been created. Cancel this. Refresh it. Now you can see the notification channel. Click that. Select OK. Continue. Okay. Cloud Run app is down. Okay, now just first test this if your application is reachable or not. So first it will test that. Okay, so as you can see, it responded with 200 OK code. So that means your application is reachable from internet as of now. So now let's create this uptime check. Okay, so your application check is created. So these are some high level details of the uptime check that you have created. It's in the configuration section. It shows check ID, title, check type, resource, SSL validation, path, port, check every 60 seconds, timeout 10 seconds, and the region is global. And the alert policy, percent uptime is 100%. It's been the application is up. Current status from Europe, it's up. Asia specific, it's up. So everything is green. Everything is working fine. Now let's test if your application goes down, what happens next. So what I'll do now, I'm going to delete the Cloud Run application that we have, and then we'll check does it triggers a notification. So let's go to Cloud Run. Go to your service. See, everything is fine till now here. Now let's delete this. Now we'll check how the uptime check status changes. So everything is green as of now because it do the checking every 1 minute. So we have to wait for 1 minute. You can see now the things are getting changed. The Cloud Run app is down. It says uptime is now get reduced to 95% from 100. In the current status tab, you can see North America is showing the application is failed, and Asia Pacific also shows it application it failed. Let's refresh this. It should show from all the region the application is down. So you can see in the current status now, all the region are showing red. That means your application is down, and the percent uptime is also getting decreased. Now let's check if I received the email or not. So let me check my email ID. Yep, I got the emails with failure of uptime check ID. Cloud Run app is down, and the cloud revision labels, project ID, and every details. So in the that was the subject line, and in the email I can see the start time, policy, project condition, and even I have option to click view incident. So I got the email as well, which says your application is down. So this is the use case of uptime check. You can use the uptime check for all your application that is public facing, or if you have some priority VMs that you want to be up every time. Any issues with the application or VM or load balancer, you can set up the uptime check. So whenever if the application goes down, you will get an email, and you can go ahead and look for the logs and try to fix the issue. And this is the exact use case that we are using in our organization, where we use the uptime check. The second thing that we are going to demo is SLO and SLA. Before I actually go and show you how SLO and SLA works, so first let's understand what is SLA and SLO is. So SLA means service level agreement. So this is the promise that Google Cloud has made you. Your application will be up for that amount of time. And what about SLO? So SLO is service level objective. So this is something you set up, and you want your application to up that much time that you have entered in SLO. So before we create SLO, we need uptime check as well that is running. So let's first create our Cloud Run application again. So go into Cloud Run. So click create service again. Okay, the service is created. Let's check our. Okay, the Cloud Run app is still down because it will take a minute to again check if your application is up or not. Okay, you can see gradually all the regions are showing status as passed. The South America is still failed showing, but yeah, it will also show pass in some time. So now let's move to SLO, the service level objective. So it's in the detect. So click on SLO. So it says like supported service. It has App Engine, Istio, Kubernetes, Anthos, Cloud Run, Custom. Okay, now let's click on define service. Okay, so select this cloud run function that we have created. Click on submit, and here you can see what to do next. So first is to create a service level objective, that is SLO. Next is view your new service dashboard. So we'll click on create SLO. Okay, so choose a matrix. So on what metric you want to measure the SLI. So we'll use the availability, request based or Windows based. The method is to evaluate your choose will affect. So request based will select, click on continue. Define SLI detail, will click continue. Here the thing, this is the main thing which you need to fill out. In compliance period, select the period type. So you can select calendar or rolling. So we'll select the rolling, and let's say period length 30 days, or for testing we'll just keep it as 10 days for now. And performance goal, so how much is the target that you want to achieve, like what's the percentage of that. So we'll keep it as, let's 99.99%. So we want our application to be available 99.99%. Click on continue. Availability 10 days. So it will check based on 10 days if your application is available for 99.90% or not. Now click on create SLO. Okay, so you can see the current status of one SLO that we have created and status calculated. So it will be start from the time when you create the SLO. And these are some logs. So it's checking, yeah, your application is getting 200 errors, 200 status. That means your application is up and running. So everything is green. One more thing that you can do, alert firing. Like if your application is down for more than the SLO that you are set up, it should trigger an email that you can also set up. So we'll click on alert firing. So you need to click SLO alert. So you have to add the condition. So the target is currently 99.99. So display name, I'll keep this as it is. Burn rate threshold. So click on next. Notification channel that we have already have, cloud and uptime check. Click next. And you can also mention what are the steps to fix the issue. Click save. So okay, alert is also set up. So everything is showing green, everything is working fine. That's great. And if you want to change the time span and check for like 6 hours, 1 day, 1 week, so you can do so by clicking here. So now we'll click, or we'll keep it as 1 hour for now. Now go ahead and delete the Cloud Run application again and check how this affects your service level objective, that is SLO. So let's delete this. Now you can see the SLO has some changes. Now it says like it went to out of error budget, and everything is moving into orange screen. Why? Because we have deleted our Cloud Run application, hence the SLO is starting to get reduced. This is how you can use SLO to measure how much time your service is up and running, and how much time it eventually goes down. So SLO is the term that frequently used in the organization, because in the organization we have a lot more application and we want to make sure all the applications are running. So whenever there are issues in the application, it should also trigger an email. Plus we have a board where we can go ahead and check what's our current SLO and what the SLA promised to us. To get this SLO, I made few changes. when you see this, I have two SLO that is created. One was the hello one that was for Cloud Run app, and the next one that I have created for Cloud Run app. So let me show you what other changes that I have done. So this time I have used the custom type, not the regular type. So the custom type I have used. Why? Because the uptime checks are not directly available. So the first one that we have created, this one, hello one. So what it has, like when you click on edit SLO, so here you have used availability. So it checks the SLO based on the availability. Even if you delete the app, that means in the logs it doesn't get capture anything. So that means if nothing is getting captured in logs, that means the SLO will not make changes. So majorly this used when you want to use some latency, like at at what time users requests are getting fulfilled. So let's modify this. So now I've changed this to latency and click on continue. To, let's say I've changed this to 10 milliseconds. So within 10 milliseconds the user's request should be fulfilled. Continue, continue, update SLO. So I've updated the SLO. As soon as I've updated the SLO, you will see there will be difference. Let's refresh this. So now as you can see, it moves to orange status and everything is now getting changed. So this is how actually SLO works. So I hope you understand what is SLA and SLO and how you can use this in your current organization as well. So the last topic that we are going to see today is what is 4xx and 5xx error. So I hope you have seen whenever you are trying to access some URL and sometimes it says there is 400 error or 500 error. So that means something, like 50 error means there's some issues from server end, and whenever you see 400 error, that means issue with the developers end. So this is just a high level overview of what is 400 and 50 errors are. So now let's see how you can actually troubleshoot for each HTTP errors such as 4xx, 5xx, and even for 2xx. So 2xx or 200 is nothing but when your service is successfully able to log in, that means you will see 200 status code. That means your service is reachable. And now let's do some testing. So first, let me let me create the Cloud Run application. Okay, so our application is running. Uptime is still down, but yeah, I'll show you by creating one more uptime check. Select the protocol as HTTPS, URL change that to Cloud Run service. Use the existing one. Path use slash frequency is 1 minute, fine. Okay, so as you can see here, there are different XX error or different XX status code you can see: 2XX, 1XX, 3XX, 4XX, and 5XX. So what currently we are setting up, whenever 2XX status shown, that means your application is running. Okay, now our Cloud Run application is running. That's great. Okay, so now let's see what's the status code that we are receiving. So in the logs you can see we are getting 200 as a status code. That means your application is running. So whenever you see status code as 200, that means your application is fine and it's up and running. So that is what 200 status mean. Now change some configuration of application and we'll see what status change and we see. go to security, and in the authentication tab, just change from allow public access to require authentication. So this time it will not directly will access on internet. It requires some IAM permissions. Only then user will able to access the URL. So yeah, give it a minute to refresh this, and then I'll try. So you will see some error. So now you can see we are getting an error called error forbidden. Your client does not have permission to get this URL. Now let's check what changes in the logs we are seeing. Okay, see, there are changes in the status code now. Now we are getting 403 error because the application is not reachable, and it's called forbidden because you don't have access to check the URL. So you are getting the uh, logs as 403 code. So this is why 403 exists. So 403 means you don't have access to run the URL. Whenever you are trying to access any website in your organization, you see 403 error. That means you don't have access to particular URL, application, or anything that you are trying to access. Now let's delete this application and check what error code we are getting. So come to service again, click here, delete. Okay, the cloud run service is now deleted. Let's refresh this. Okay, so as soon as you have deleted this, the error is changed, plus the status also changed. Now it shows 404 page not found. The requested URL was not found in this server. The requested URL was not found on this server. Go to logs, check for last 30 seconds or 15 seconds. Okay, so now you are starting to see status code as 404. So 404 means your application is not available. So 200 means your application is fine running. 403 means your application is running, but you don't have access to access the application. 404 means your application is not available, is either deleted, or there may be some other changes. So in our case, the application is deleted. Hence, we are seeing 404 error. I have created one new service that is called Hello 5xx demo, where I'm going to show you how the 5xx demo, how the 5xx error looks like in log, and what is the reason of it. So I've created one revision, like I've created one service. Like I'll show you what details that I've added. So I've used here, it's a Node.js application, and it's running on the port 8080, and other things are same. When you try to access this URL, okay, so it says the page isn't working. Like the services is running, revision is running, traffic is routing to this revision perfectly, but you are not able to access the URL. So this could be the reason. Like there could be multiple reasons, such as your port number is wrong, or your services is not receiving specific memory or CPU. So there could be so many other reasons. So there is nothing related to developer who built this code, because the code is running, code is, you can see it's in green, revision is working fine, but there is some server side issue. Due to that, we are not able to access this application. Let's check for the logs. Try for 1 minute. Okay, so here you can see 500 error, HTTP request status error, and this is our service URL. So whenever there is an issue from server end, you will see 5xx error code. And when there is an error with developer or the application or code, that time you will see 4xx error. So mainly 403 means there is a permission issue, 404 if your service is not available, and 500 error means if your service is ready and running but it's not reachable to the user, and there could be server related issue. To fix the 5xx error, uh, I have to just update the code that I have. Let's redeploy this, and then we'll check. Okay, so everything is fine. Updated this. So now let's redeploy this uh, code again, and then we'll see if our 5xx errors is resolved or not. So let's wait to deploy this revision. And if you want to see what's happening behind the scene, if you can also click on logs. It will show you like what process is currently running, and all the logs you can see there. So it's run in cloud build. So build summary has 4 steps. So it fetches the image and it's installing application dependencies. Okay, so it's done. It's completed successfully. Let's close this. Okay, so you can see everything is green. Our application is redeployed now. Let's open the URL. Okay, yeah. So this time you can see it's saying working. Last time we were getting some internal error while accessing to this URL. Now it says working. Let's check the logs. Okay, so this time you can see we are seeing error code or the status code as 200. So we are seeing status code as 200. That means our service is up and running, and even user are able to access it the way they want. So I hope you understand what this status code are. Like 200 status code means your application is up and running. If you see status code as 4xx, like 403, 404, there is some issue with the your application, like you have access issue or your application is not available. That time you will see 4xx status code. And whenever you see 5xx status code like 500, 503, that means there is an issue from server end. Your application is up and running, but it's not working the way you want. So I hope you understand this video. Before we end this, let's recap what we have learned today. So we have started with uptime check, where I've shown you how to create uptime checks and why this is needed, and in your organization how you can use uptime check to monitor your production ready applications, and whenever the application goes down it will trigger an alert so that you can take action as soon as possible, so it will reduce your downtime. Next, we have learned what is SLA, service level agreement, and what is SLO, service level objective. And I've shown you how to create service level objective and what factor due to that your service level objective can be goes down or goes up. And at the end, I've shown you what are different HTTP status code are 200, 400, and 500. So this was our last video on Google Cloud Monitoring series, and I hope you like this series. So we are going to start a new series. So let me know if you have anything in your mind that you want me to start, and stay tuned for our upcoming videos. Thank you.